Hey y'all, it's Donna from Donna's Sewing Circle. Welcome to my little sewing room. There's always room for one more, so pull up a seat and join us today. My superpower, in case you want to know, is teaching others to sew. I've been sewing for over 20 years now, and I've been teaching classes in our local community, and they suggested I should try and put my classes online. So that's what I'm doing. Today we're on lesson number 4 in my 6 video series about beginner sewing. This is what I would teach in my classes, and we're on day 4. In my classes, you would learn skill upon skill. So we started in lesson 1 how to make a straight line. We made a coaster while we did it. Lesson 2 was a rotary case. Lesson 3 was your very own pincushion. And lesson 4, we're going to do an apron. Now, when you're sewing, an apron actually comes in handy because if you've seen any of my videos, you've seen me not wearing my apron. And I've got things stuck to my clothes. So the apron helps take care of that. In this class today, we're only going to be making the half apron, but when I make a sewing apron, it's usually the full thing, and it has pockets in it. Today is a simple one for a beginner, so it will only be a half an apron, no pockets. So come on, join me. Let's get started.
Okay, the first thing you want to do is measure your fabric. It needs to be 18 inches from your waist to your knee. That direction needs to be 18 inches. The other length, you put the inside of the fabric, your lining, and the outside of your apron, put them together. You go from one seam line on your shirt, put the fabric there. The other side goes to the other seam of your shirt, and that is the width of your apron. Now you cut it. My apron actually will not be the width that I need it because I absolutely loved the farm print and it was shorter than that. So my apron will not be as wide as it should be, which could be a good thing. It could encourage me to lose weight and then it would fit. Okay, then you need 2 strips 3 inches wide by the length of your fabric, which is usually 40 inches. Iron the creases out of it, make it nice and smooth. You need 2 of these for 2 straps. And the reason I like them this long is so I can double them and tie it in the front. If you don't want to tie it in the front, you don't need it that long. Now, you're going to fold your fabric 3 times. It's going to look like a Wrigley's gum wrapper. You fold it. Now, you're going to fold your fabric like a Wrigley's gum wrapper. You fold one edge to the middle, iron it down so you have a nice crease. You do that the entire length of your strap. Now you take your pins or your clips and you fold it in half on top of the creases you just made, the seam. Pin the edges together. You want the edges to be even with each other, not overlapping, edge to edge. Now, you'll lay this aside and you'll pin the other side. So you'll have both straps ready to sew.
Come on in, stay a while, trade your troubles for a smile. Pull up a chair, rest your soul. We'll thread the needle nice and slow, watch our sweet projects grow. Stitch by stitch and seam by seam, where every stitch tells a little story, and every friend is family. So come on in and stay a while.
Okay, now you're ready to sew your straps. You'll sew the open ends first. You want to sew a 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of your fabric, very close to the edge. Go frontwards and backwards, lock your stitch. Now what you'll want to do is make sure, line up the edges of the tie before you sew it. If you don't, you can miss, because it's such a small stitch, you could miss a piece of fabric. So double check at every pin that your fabric is still together. And if not, then draw it together. Make them even. Sewing these straps is a really good way to practice your sewing a straight line, because it's 40 inches at a time. It's a great time to take your time and sew a straight line. Remember, only 1/8 of an inch. Okay, we're at the end. We're going to go almost to the end. Then with needle down, foot up, you turn your fabric. Remember to keep it at 1/8 of an inch. It's a very narrow stitch along the edge of your fabric. Practice your sewing your straight line. Your project will look a whole lot better if you can keep a straight line. That's a great way to practice. You also want to make sure your threads match your project. I have white thread working on a beige and pale red. Now this will be the edge that is the end of your tie. So you want to fold it over an inch, not an inch, maybe half an inch, and then fold it over again to hide that raw edge. Now I'm just going to barely sew over it. Foot, needle down, foot up, reverse. All right, one strap is done. Now you didn't have to do that to the other end of your strap because it goes inside of your apron, so it can have a raw edge. Now we repeat the previous step with the second strap. Line up the edges, make sure they're together. Lock your stitch. Go forward 3 stitches, back 3 stitches. Then you continue on down. Remember to match your edges, it's very important. 1/8 of an inch is all you need. A very narrow stitch along the edge of the fabric. Practice your straight stitching. They'll make your product look very pretty when you keep it a straight stitch. If you're enjoying the video and you're following along, please subscribe, follow my channel, and you won't miss any of my new projects. I have a lot of stuff coming up. Love exciting beginner items for new sewers. Love for you to join me in the circle. Please subscribe. Okay, we're coming close to the end here. So you want to fold it. I'll cut your strings first. You want to fold it about 1/2 inch, and then you fold it on top of itself again, and that'll hide the raw edge. Now you want to sew right over the edge of it so your thread catches it. Turn your, there you go, sew along the edge of it, and then backspace. That'll lock your stitch. Okay, now your straps are finished. Okay, so you want to lay your fabric out, right sides together. So I flipped that one over, made it right side up. If you have directional fabric, you want to make sure you have the top where you want the top at. So I lay the fabrics together. Okay, so you smooth the fabric out. Now, you're going to fold the one layer back so I can, okay. So the strap needs to be laid out. Notice where the 1 inch mark is. I put the strap at the 1 inch mark. Now that's the raw edge right there. The rest of the strap needs to be put inside the apron where I won't run over it with the sewing machine. Okay, now we work on the second strap. So the second strap, you get the raw end. Get some threads bothering me. So you take the raw edge, you lay it at the 1 inch mark also. And that strap has to be tucked inside the apron also, away from the edges so I don't sew over it. The only place I want to sew over it is at where my finger is, along the edge. I lay the lining back over it, line them up, pin it in place. So I'm going to clip the fabrics together, make sure the edges match, and make sure I'm not clipping the strap because I do not want to sew over the strap except for in that one spot. Okay, when I get to the bottom of the apron, I need to leave an opening because I need to flip it when I'm done sewing it. Now we want to go forwards and backwards. We want to lock our stitch. Forward 3, back 3, and then forward again. This time you want to do a quarter inch seam. So I will be following the edge of my foot with my fabric. It's another great time to be practicing your straight stitch. You get to almost the end of the fabric, stop, needle down, foot up, turn the fabric. Continue sewing. You do not have to go frontwards and backwards. You do not have to lock the stitch when you're turning fabric. Do not sew over your pins or your clips. Now I'm sewing over the strap. I'm going frontwards and backwards, locking it because the strap is the weakest point. You do not want to pull your strap out of your apron. So you go frontwards and backwards over your strap. That'll keep it from coming loose in the future. Okay, I'm coming on the other edge of the strap. So there's my pin. I just removed my pin, holding it in place. Go over the strap, back over the strap, forward over the strap again, and that will keep it from coming loose as you use it over and over. Needle down, foot up, turn the fabric. Now I'm on the last side. This is the side I need to leave an opening. I'm going to sew a little further beyond my pin because that's a large gap. That's where I started. So I'm going to sew right about where my fingers are. And that'll give me a big enough gap to flip it. And I do hold my finger there to remind me, because if I get distracted, I'll sew too far. There, lock the stitch. Now I'll cut the corners. I do not cut my stitches. I cut right below the stitches. That way there's not a whole lot of bulk when I'm flipping my fabric. All right, now we flip it. I'll double check my stitches first. I'll make sure everything is sewn together, that nothing got missed. Once I'm sure that everything is sewn together, I'll flip it. Where the straps are, if you pull the straps, that'll pour that corner out. That makes two of the corners easier to pull. Now this is a reversible apron. I can wear it either side. If I put my fingers in the edges and pull them together, it pulls the seams together. Now we're going to top stitch it. See how puffy it is? When you top stitch it, that puffiness will be gone. I don't know how it works, but it sure does. It makes beautiful work. Now, we're going to top stitch all the way around all four edges. You want it to be 1/8 of an inch, so you just barely sew in the fabric. Now, once you pull the fabrics together, so the bottom fabric does not show. See how I'm flattening it out? You do not want the top fabric or the bottom fabric, whichever is on the bottom. You don't want it showing on the top, and you don't want the other fabric showing on the bottom. So you smooth it out. Take your time. And you also don't want to sew over your straps. So you always want to be aware of where your straps are so you don't sew over them. When you get to the corner, you leave the needle down, pick the foot up, flip your fabric, smooth it out again. See how close my needle is to the edge of the fabric? It's 1/8 of an inch. Practice your straight stitching. It'll make your projects look really nice. Now I'm sealing the hole where we flipped it. If you're enjoying this tutorial, be sure to stay tuned to the bonus apron tutorial, which will be next in my series. I'll be adding a dish towel with pockets to the apron so you can dry your hands on it, wipe your hands off. Really a cool option to add to your apron. So if you like the apron pattern and you want to add a towel pocket, subscribe and watch my next video and you'll be able to see me add a towel and pockets to this very same apron. Okay, when you come to the end of your project where you started, be sure you lock your stitches. Go backwards 3, forwards 3. Now we cut the thread and we are complete. The apron is ready. I love the chickens on it, and it's reversible, so I could wear it either direction. And the loops are long enough where I could tie it in the front. I'm looking forward to using it when I make supper tonight. I hope you enjoyed the video. and I'll see you all next video. Notice you can also layer over the top, add a little design to the top, or you could do it the other way around. Thank you for joining me, ladies, and I will see you next video.